What is going on, Bevy people? This is Marcus from the BVIP.com, and today we are going to discuss the build of the Power Rack, which will also double as a BDSM rack. So, what I want to do is I'm gonna break this up into a number of videos. Today we're gonna talk about just what my ideas are with the Power Rack, and then we're gonna go from there, and I'll do a video about how I built the Power Rack. And then there'll be some finishing touches and some new additions that I'll be adding. Now, if you look for how power racks are built, at least here on YouTube, you're gonna come across basically the buff dudes, which is their style of power rack, right? Now there's a number of things about this rack that I don't really like that I'm changing in the design, which may or may not be the right decision, but we will find out when we build it. The number one thing that I don't like about this is you can see here that they use these cross beams. They're all made out of 4x4s, which is good, keeps things nice and strong. And then they use these cross beams, cross supports in here, and underneath these are angle brackets, and that's how they're securing the entire thing together, is by screwing angle brackets into the 4x4s. Now, for a number of reasons, I don't like that. Obviously the support is great, so that's an important thing, but the angle brackets are just not what I'm looking for. Part of this rack, you have to understand that I'm building, I need it to be aesthetically pleasing, because it's not just a brute force rack where I'm just using it to lift weights. I'm going to be using it in photo shoots and also part of the BDSM room that I'm making, so it has to have like an aesthetically pleasing thing. So with that said, I also don't like, you can see here, let's see what's a good picture. So this is what you find when you search for DIY power racks, is that everyone's making the rack that the buff dudes have used. And shout out to the buff dudes, they did a great job with it. But everybody's using 4x4 pine, and then what they're doing is they're painting it black, and to me this looks pretty tacky. So I'm gonna use a different type of wood. I'm actually gonna use like a brown fir. And I can stain it, or I can do some type of finishing on it eventually, but the brown fir alone will look better than this black painted pine. I'm obviously not going to put the numbers down the front. I think that's kind of ridiculous. If anything, I can put marks like every other one put a mark. I mean, if you're putting your safety, these holes are for the safety bars. If you're putting your safety bar in here and you're missing by one or two holes, I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, so we're changing that. We're changing how how it's basically put together. I'm going to use GRK structural screws, and we'll try to put it together and see what happens. Now this is, let's just stop this from spinning here. This is my basic design. Standard 4x4 upright, 7 feet tall. It's going to be, I'm going to use 2x4s for the supports that go around the sides and the back. Now, if this is too wonky, I can add supports to it, but I'm not going to do that from the start. I think I'm going to try with this structure like this, and then I'm also going to add to the top a plate to it eventually, because I want to add a speed bag underneath that. There's going to be a pull-up bar across the top, which is going to brace the top. I'm also, and you can't see it here in this model, but I'm also going to add a bar across the bottom here, and that's going to be so that you can hook your feet on it and do some sit-ups. A few things you don't see in here too are like the J-cups that I'm going to make. Now you can see here the way they made the J-cups with the flange. I'm doing that differently. I'm going to use street angles, and then I'm going to add hooks. Anytime you're using anything for bondage, you're going to need hooks in different places, or loops, not hooks. These are like, they're like D loops. So I'm going to add 4 of those. I'm going to add one in the center, and then like I said, I'm probably going to add a flat plate to this on the top, which will hold a speed bag that I can hook on and off in the center there. And then the J cups, there's going to be one set lower for bench pressing when you put a bench in there, and then one set higher for squatting. And that's going to be the basic design for this for now. So I'm going to jump into that second video. You want to subscribe if you want to see the whole series of videos. Like I said, the first one is this. The second one is going to be the actual build process. with dimensions, and I'll give all the dimensions of everything I use. And then after that, we're going to add some of the stuff that will turn it into a bondage rack. And then we're going to do some finishing of it to make it look good, so it looks good for furniture. Sorry that it's been taking so long to get these videos out. I have all the footage done and most of it built, including the bench. I have a really cool bench I'm going to make that looks way better than the workout benches that people are using in the DIY stuff online. But I got really busy. I had a photo shoot I had to do, and then I had a new model that we just signed up to OnlyFans, and that model I'm going to use for my Making a Star project. So if you want to follow all that stuff, just click the subscribe button below and look out for the next video, which will be the specifics of how to build the rack for a power rack / BDSM rack. All right, guys, have a good night. If you are a fan and want to help support my channel or any of the projects that I do, check out my Patreon page. There are different tiers of support starting at $5 and it goes up from there, all with different benefits. You can also check out our apparel shop at thebevivip.com/store. We also have an Amazon wish list of items that I want to add to the build, and also a Cash.app link in the description below. If you are a model or just someone who is planning to sign up to OnlyFans or AVN Stars, use our links in the description below when you sign up. You don't lose any money when you use our links, but we get a small kickback from the platform if you become successful. We offer some benefits when you sign up through us. If you are in the San Francisco Bay Area and you want some professional photos or videos taken of you for free, maybe for your Instagram or your OnlyFans or AVN accounts, or even just for a Tinder account, then send me an email at marcus@thebevivip.com and we can set something up. I'm always looking for new models to collaborate with to build my new portfolio. I appreciate your support, because most platforms like YouTube demonetize my content due to its nature. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the links in the description. This is Marcus. Be healthy, play safe, and good night.